All right, so let's look at, a little bit more of an involved, less of a textbook, example here. Um, so again, we're returning back to the Major League Baseball player salary versus season wins. Um, and so with this one, not only do we want to get the line of regression, the calculated point X bar, Y bar, but now we also want to get the correlation coefficient from this data. Um, so again, we're going to sketch this by hand as well. So if we want to sketch these values on the x-axis and these values on the y-axis, let's look at what the minimum and the maximum values are, and the minimum values here and the maximum values there. So for the x values that we have a minimum of 49 and a maximum of 209. So I think what I'll do here is I think I will make my x-axis to go from 40 to maybe 220. That will let me do this maybe tick marks by 20s. Oops. Okay, by 20s. Here on the y-axis, we have a minimum of 67 and a maximum of 97. So here I could go from 60 to 100. Maybe I could do this by tens. All right, so I'm going to need a lot of room horizontally and not as much vertically, I think. So let's try this. And let's go up like that. So here's our y values, here's our x values, and let's see how I do. So we're going to go by 20s, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220. All right, so I could have spaced them out a little bit more. But let me just redraw this really quick. Like that. Okay. On the vertical axis, we want to go from 60 to 100. So I'm going to do 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay. Oh, yeah. Computer's giving me some response issues here. Here we go. Okay. So let's try and graph these points as best we can. So we've got 209.89, which is approximately 210 and 90. So 210, 210 is going to be here, and 90 is right there. Then we've got 139.74, which is about 140.75. So 140.75, right about there. 101.86, that's about 100 and just under 90, closer to 85. So 100, and then I want about 85. Again, this is a sketch, so just doing it as close as I can. Then we got 75, 75. So here's 70, 75, 75. That's right about there. 67, 68, which is just under 70 here, just under 70 there. Close enough. 49, 67, so it's about 50 and 67. And then 119, 97, so that's about 120 and 100. So 120 and 100. And then we got 98, 92, so that's about 100 and just over 90. Right about there. All right. So that's a decent scatter plot here of our data. Um, okay. So now let's get our X bar, Y bar. So to do that, we'll do Texas Instruments first. Okay, so first thing we need to do is put the information in the list editor, which I've already done. Okay, salary values, season wins in list two. And then we want to go to stat, calc, two variable stats. Okay, list one and list two, that's our X and Y values, and hit calculate. All right, so we have X bar of 107, Y bar of 80.875. Okay, so let me write that down. So we're going to have 107 and then 80.875. All right, so I'll try and graph that. So that's close to 110 and just over 80. So right about there. Okay, so this is my X bar, Y bar. So this is one of the things that we were looking for here. Next, well, we'll need our line of regression equation. Okay, but let me show where X bar, Y bar are on the NumWorks calculator, and that'll lead us to this line of regression. Okay, so if we go to the regression app, put in your list of X values and your list of Y values. Okay, then actually what we can do is just go over to graph, click OK. Oh, it's not graphing it. Oh, I know. So I need to go up to these tools. Let me go to auto. If I click auto, okay, so it was just my X and Y axes were off. So when I clicked auto, it changed these to include all of my data. Okay, so now if I go to regression and I choose linear with mx plus b in it, okay, then down here it's giving me X bar and Y bar. Put this. Okay, it's giving me X bar and Y bar. And then if I hit the down arrow key once, all right, so there's my line of regression. So, this is kind of where I was saying that, um, these values can get pretty drawn out, okay? So this is our slope, this highly accurate decimal number, and this is our y-intercept right here. So I am going to, truncate this down to 3 decimal places in both spots. or three significant digits. Yeah, I can do it to three decimal places in both places. So let me go back over to my Word document here. So I'm going to have y hat is equal to 0.125x plus, and let's see here, what was my value of b? 67.498. So I'll do, oops, 67.498. So this is my line of regression equation. And then we want the correlation coefficient, R. So if we come back here to the NumWorks calculator, I think if I hit, let's see here, up, up. Nope, I thought it would give it right there. Okay, so to get the line of regression, we want to go to the Stats tab, click OK, and then scroll down. And there's our correlation coefficient. As you can see, it's right above these regression coefficients. And so the correlation coefficient here is 0.546. Okay, so 0.546. Now you haven't learned what this is yet, but you're about to. So we're just going to go ahead and highlight that. Now on the Texas Instruments calculator, how do you get these two? Okay, so we have to use linreg, ax plus b. So we hit the stat button, go to calc. It's the fourth one down. Click enter. Okay, our list of x values is in list 1. The list of y values are in list 2. We're not going to worry about storing it anywhere right now, so I'm just going to hit calculate. And so you can see that the slope is 0.125, which is what we had over here. And the y-intercept, represented by b, the variable b, is 67.498. 67.498. And the correlation coefficient is 0.546. 0.546. Once again, if you are not seeing this r and r squared, that means you have to click Mode, go down to Stat Diagnostics, and most likely yours is off. So you want to make sure that you turn it on, like that. Okay. Once it's on, then when you do this linreg ax plus b, it will show you r and r squared. Okay, r is the correlation coefficient. Okay, so I believe that that satisfies everything that we were looking for here. We could kind of go ahead and kind of sketch this as well. We could graph it on the calculator, but we've already done that in previous examples. What I wanted to do with this example was to be able to sketch a more complex scatter plot, by hand, and find each of these values again on the calculator. All right, let me know if you have any questions.